Nugs. Touch. No, sit. Can you? Yeah. Oh, there's a Nugs. She's like, I see tweets. Like the baby. Oh my gosh, this video is going so well so far. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rochelle, and I'm sorry that this May TBR, May Hopeful, took so long to go and film. It has been a wild month so far. So basically, I had a plan of which books I wanted to read, but some of them I was still waiting for them to arrive through the mail from Book Outlet, because I ordered a few hauls, which hopefully if I got everything together you will have watched the haul video, or you can watch the haul video if you'd like to see the list of all the books that I got. I actually had a modeling thing recently, so this is the second time that I have modeled with No Limbits, and I actually walked for Denver Fashion Week, which was this past weekend, and they had a specific part of their show for Denver Fashion Week that was specifically about inclusivity. And so I actually got to do that this past weekend, and I was so anxious, I was so nervous, because that was something completely out of my comfort zone, but something that I wanted to do because of limb difference representation. And so because of that, and the fact that some of my books didn't arrive when I was hoping them to, that is why this video is very much delayed. So I apologize for that and how things are a little bit more spaced out and all over the place. And also, if you do want to know about my experience with the modeling, I will go and post another video about that probably sometime either this week or next week, to go and talk about my experience, all the really cool and wild things that happened, and just my entire thought process throughout it all. But that is enough of me talking about all of this. Let's get into the books. So the first book is The Troop by Nick Cutter, and this arrived in my book haul that you would have seen, and it actually has a little bit of a description from Stephen King where he said, "The Troop scared the hell out of me," and I couldn't put it down. This is old school horror at its best, and you know me, I love horror. So part of the reason why I have this book in my pile is because I found a lot of the books that I picked for this month were mostly like flowery romance, and like the covers very much were screaming spring, but I noticed I was lacking in the thriller department. Because of that, I needed to go and add a few different books because, you know, your girl has to have some horror in the pile. So I'm just gonna read a blurb from this because I'm struggling to describe it right now. Once a year, Scoutmaster Tim Riggs leads a troop of boys into the Canadian wilderness for a weekend camping trip, a tradition as comforting and reliable as a good ghost story around a roaring bonfire. But when an unexpected intruder stumbles upon their campsite, shockingly thin, disturbingly pale, and voraciously hungry, Tim and the boys are exposed to something far more frightening than any tale of terror. The human carrier of a bioengineered nightmare, a horror that spreads faster than fear, a harrowing struggle for survival with no escape from the elements, the infected, or one another. This sounds very wild, very creepy, and kind of like zombie-esque in a way, which are the things that I really love. So I'm very excited to read this. I'll probably be reading it soon just as a filler in between some of the more like romance happy books that I have. Next one is Manila Takes Manhattan, a Harlequin novel. It is by Carla de Guzman, and this one actually involves a Filipino couple. Both of them are celebrities and end up kind of having this fling that turns into them needing to do this whole relationship. And I really love like the way that the spine of the book looks. With this one, I ended up going and picking it up because I am half Filipino. I really wanted to add it for Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and I thought that this would be a great read. Also, I saw one of my favorite dishes on the back, and I'm a foodie. I love good food. So if some food is mentioned that I enjoy eating, it's got to be a good book, right? The next book is Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. She is one of my favorite authors that I didn't discover until this year. She wrote my favorite book, Out on a Limb, and she has been re-releasing a lot of her books this year with redesigned covers, and this was the latest one that released. The next one will be Out on a Limb, which should be coming up over the summer. I can't remember the exact date, but if I look it up, I will go and insert it here. So with this one, Lane is dealing with a whole identity crisis, and she ends up going and buying a bus to go and redesign, and she goes and asks her friend to go and help out. Her friend and her have like feelings for each other, but they also don't want to ruin their friendship and have anything happen, and have kind of done this whole agreement. But one of them has feelings for the other that are a little bit more strong, and this book just sounds really great. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of a YouTuber that I watch, and the fact that she ended up going and dealing with a heartbreak and bought a bus, not having any sort of experience doing any of that. So I don't know, if I like this book, I might, you know, just go and pop into her comments and leave a recommendation for this book. But I feel like I probably will love it because, like I said, this is one of my favorite authors. Then I have Lost by Imogen Keeper, and this is book 2 in After the Plague. I did read book 1, and you can hear my thoughts about it in my April books read video. Why am I struggling? But I didn't really know how I felt with the first book, and I feel like it's because, at least for the first couple of books, they're so thin, and although it was good, I feel like I didn't get a chance to fully connect with the characters and I guess really get a feel for how I felt about the book so far. So I kind of want to continue reading it, and that's why I'm putting this book on my list of hopefuls for this month, and we'll see how it goes. I am really liking it, but I don't really know where I feel when it comes to a star rating, which is just weird. So we'll see how it goes from there. Then I'm very excited for this one. So this is Secrets in the Dark by Darcy Coates, and it's part of the Black Winter novel series, and this is the second one for Voices in the Snow. I will try my best not to give too much information with this, aside from saying that it basically continues Claire's story from the first book, and if you've seen my review of Voices in the Snow, you know how much I loved that book. And so getting to continue Claire's story and also someone else's, yeah, I'm just very excited. And it's a chunky boy, so I'm not sure if this will take me a while to read through or if I'll just zoom through it really quickly. But yeah, I don't want to give too much of a description because I feel like with this series especially, going into the story with as little knowledge as possible, aside from obviously what you read on the back of the book, is the best way to do it because it is so good and you just constantly wonder what's going to happen, what's going on. I love those kind of books. I'm gonna butcher this name. So next I have Dragonfruit by Makia Lucier, and I'm probably saying that wrong. This was a special edition I got from Satisfiction, which was also on my book haul, and I'm not quite sure what happened to the cover. I feel like my cats might have scratched it, because at first I thought it was something sticky, but now I'm seeing it scratched here, which makes me a little bit upset because it is such a stunning book. I mean, look at those sprayed edges. But I'm actually going to be doing a buddy read with my friend Nicole. I'll put her channel here and also in the description. But we're going to be doing a buddy read. I have never done a buddy read before, but I'm very excited. So we're probably going to start reading it on Friday and then telling each other kind of our thoughts at the halfway mark and going from there. But yeah, with this one, basically, there's this thing called a dragon egg, and the main character's father ends up going and stealing it, which leads the daughter into being exiled. But this dragon egg is something that's very important and can heal people, and so because of that, she ends up going and working with someone on the island who's a prince, I believe, and they work together to try to see if they can get another dragon egg to help heal his mother and his grandmother, I believe. So I'll just read a little blurb from the inside cover on it. So it says, in the old tales, it is written that the egg of a sea dragon, dragonfruit, holds within it the power to undo a person's greatest sorrow. But as with all things that offer hope, when hope has gone, the tale comes with a warning. Every wish demands a price. The kind of makes me think of Rumpelstiltskin from Once Upon a Time with everything comes with a price. So I'm very interested in this book. It sounds like there's a lot of interesting concepts, and I'm very curious about these sea dragons. So I can't wait to read this with my friend Nicole that I've met through BookTube, and I'll definitely be sharing my thoughts. Next is Flower Heart by Catherine Bakewell, and this one I actually did on one of my book hauls, I believe from a month ago. So I'm excited to see about this one. It seems like the main character has this magic with flowers, and although she ended up going and harming her father with it, there's a way that apparently her magic can help their kingdom. And so yeah, I'm very interested. I feel like the cover definitely screams spring, just with those flowers and everything. So yeah, I'll try to read this one this month. Then I have Ready or Not by Cara Beston, and this one was popular, came out a few months ago. Everyone's been raving about it, and it has that whole unexpected pregnancy trope, which originally I never thought I would like. But like I said, Hannah Bonham Young is one of my favorite authors, and she wrote Out on a Limb, which has that unexpected pregnancy trope. And I really enjoyed that, and I've heard nothing but good reviews about Ready or Not. So because of that, I think I really do want to go and read this book. And the cover also is very much saying spring to me. So I'm excited to read into this. I'm excited to read this. Then I have The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. I have the copy from Owlcrate, and it is absolutely stunning. So gorgeous. I mean, I've already shown these before, but I have to show you again. So there's that part of the cover. And then I'll just put that down here. Then there's this portion. And then this is the dust page on the inside. And I mean, it's so beautiful. And then we have this part of the cover, and then the back portion. And then it has these sprayed edges. So The Unmaking of June Farrow basically is about this character, June, who all the women in her family of the Farrow line are known to have this curse. And eventually this curse leads to them going mad. So June is dreading this day and when it will eventually happen to her. And there's just all these mysteries. There's this red door that appears in different areas. There's these secrets that some family members have kind of told her partial truths of things. And I don't want to go into it any more than that because I don't want to spoil anything. But I have thoughts about this book, and I will be sharing it in my recap because I did end up already reading this. Then I have The Sacrifice by Rin Chupeco, and this book was actually on my list to read from last month, and it carried over to this month. So with this one, basically it involves this island in the Philippines, which is known for a curse, and anyone that goes there winds up dead, except for one person who is the main character of the story. And this person basically goes and acts as a tour guide for this Hollywood studio who is wanting to create like this Ghostbuster show on this island. And they believe that they'll get these really great ratings. However, while they're there, a lot of weird stuff happens, and the main character constantly warns them that you should not be here, it's not safe, you should leave. And so, like I said, I wanted to bring this book over to the month of May to go and read because it is Asian Pacific Islander month, and I felt like this would be a good read. Also, the cover is gorgeous. My light is going wonky right now. I was trying to do natural light, but we're getting weird weather here in Colorado. So yeah, that is the last book on my list to read. Some of the books in this pile I have already read or am planning on starting right after I finish this video. But yeah, I'm very excited to read through this list. I don't know if I'll get to all of these books or I'll have different editions. I've kind of been in this mood where I've been jumping back and forth with what books feel right to have on my list for this month and what ones I'm not quite sure if I want to read anymore. But yeah, I'm very excited. As always, if you want to see some of my ratings for the books, I do have my Goodreads in the description as well as my Storygraph. I tend to use both just because they both have different ways of organization that I really like. Goodreads has a way of putting the books on bookshelves, and I really like that categorization, whereas Storygraph has a great way of going and breaking down statistics, how many pages you read for a month, what type of themes, how many books you read for a certain author. So there's things that I like for both of them. But anyway, I have all that information as well as my socials in the link down below. I also do have Nicole's information too, since I am going to be doing a buddy read with her for Dragonfruit. And I think that's everything. But yeah, I'm sorry that this video took a while to come out. Like I said, it's been a weird month already, but I am very excited to read through these books, share the other videos that I've mentioned while talking throughout this video. And yeah, so with that being said, I want to wrap up this video and say that you are worthy and capable of amazing things. I love you all, and I can't wait to talk to you all soon. Bye, everyone. You're so cute. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Junie loves. Junie loves. Yeah. She is staring down that box right now. Hi, baby. Hello. Yes, did you have a treat? Did you have a treat? It's very nice to meet you. Hmm? You're the cutest girl. Yeah. You're the absolute cutest girl, aren't you? I just don't really know how to go and edit it, but there's a few pieces in it that I might... Can you say hi, Rose? Can you say hi? You're just the cutest boy. Yeah. You're just the cutest. That is the mic. Yep. Nugget, you can't show your booty. You can't show your booty. This is PG. This is a PG channel.
Lazy Sunday mornings, hiding under covers. I don't mind staying in with you. Play your favorite movie, laying right beside me. I don't mind when it's just us two. That corner coffee shop we like to go.